Gamescom has started. DC had its weekend. And apparently Tiananmen Square is not real. Right, Matt?
I'm not at liberty to say. China's over my shoulder here. So.
You know what? All right. Fair enough. One of the few countries, I think, by our analytics, we don't have a listener in, so.
Winning.
By design, we've planned that. No.
Great firewall. Probably can't even get it over there.
You know what? That's honestly probably true. Anyway, welcome to the podcast.
Yes, the Gamers 2 podcast for August 28th. I looked at the date. Your weekly roundup of news and commentary related to the video game industry and anything else that might pique our interest. That's it. Good show. See you guys later.
It's been a fun time. I'd like to formally announce my retirement. If you're just now listening to this, we learned before we went live that Chadwick Boseman has passed.
Colon cancer.
Yeah, 4 years.
Apparently, I read a little brief thing. He was had it prior to, so the assumption is he was going through treatment and fighting it while filming Black Panther and the rest of the
Civil War and video, everything. Yeah, sucks.
Does suck for sure.
And as you will start seeing, Wakanda forever.
Wakanda forever.
And he played Jackie Robinson in 42.
Yeah, which was
to Matt's realization.
Yeah, I did not recognize him. I mean, I've only watched that movie once, so I guess that's my defense.
But if you wanted to do something else,
like play a new game, new release game, where could I find new release games?
In the list that I'm about to tell you. Hint, the list is not short this week.
Like this podcast.
This podcast is also not short this week by any stretch of the imagination. But here we go, new releases. The Elder Scrolls Online Stonethorn DLC came to PC and Stadia. Cinders came to PS4. Ken Dagawa Jet Girls came to PS4. Madden 21 came to PS4, Xbox One, and PC. Number 5, No Straight Roads came to PC, PS4, Xbox One, and Switch. Vader Immortal, a Star Wars VR series, came to PSVR. Cinders also made its way to Xbox One. I should edit my list better. The Suicide of Rachel Foster came to PS4 and Xbox One. Best Friend Forever came to PC and Switch. Control got its Awe DLC and Deluxe Edition officially, or Definitive, what do they call it? Deluxe Edition? Officially are out now for PC, PS4, and Xbox One. Final Fantasy Crystal Chronicles Remastered Edition for PS4 and Switch. Fortnite Chapter 2 Season 4 is officially live. Whatever that means to you. Number 13, Hypnospace Outlaw for the PS4, Xbox One, and Switch. Number 14, Outbreak, The New Nightmare for the PS4. Number 15, Surgeon Simulator 2 for the PC. We'll talk a little bit more about that later. Number 16, Tell Me Why, Chapter 1 for the PC and Xbox One. Number 17, Tour de France 2020. And as always, we love a biking game. I'm surprised.
Sure.
This is the first time I've called out a biking game and not seen Cycling Manager right below it.
Drop the ball. COVID, probably.
Instead, below it is number 18, Captain Tsubasa, Rise of New Champions for PC, PS4, and Switch. Number 19, Double Kick Heroes for Xbox One. Number 20, Jump Force Deluxe Edition for the Switch. Number 21, Nexomon Extinction for the PC, PS4, Xbox One, and Switch. Number 22, Project Cars 3 for the PC, PS4, and Xbox One. That one caught me by surprise because I didn't realize how fast we got here.
Ditto. People were like, Project Cars 3 reviews. And I was like, what?
I was writing the list and I go, Project Cars 3, that can't be right. And I went and looked and I was like, oh, it's out now. Oh boy, is this year moving right along. Number 23, Wasteland 3 comes to PC, PS4, and Xbox One. Number 24, Windbound to PC, PS4, Xbox One, and the Switch. And The Last Campfire comes to PC, but only on Epic.
The Last Campfire, was that the Hello Games one?
Yes.
Okay.
But it is currently on Epic and is listed. It's listed on Steam, but not playable, but you can play it on Epic.
So
they might have had the exclusivity window. I don't remember if they did or not.
Maybe. I kind of wanted to get that one, but we'll see. Who knows?
It intrigues me. I think it's $15.
Yeah.
That sounds right.
Sounds good.
I will take number 1.
Oh, wow. Okay, hopping into it. I guess we don't have time to fuck around.
We don't really have time to fuck around because we're going to fuck around a lot during these, as is tradition. And as the cards dictate, somebody will get sent to the Shadow Realm and all the other references I normally make. Ha ha ha, I'm Batman. We'll talk to that in a bit. Gamescom 2020. And also, I wrote this one, and it's a little jumbled. Yours that are usually more together, but
I thought it was fine.
All right. Well, I appreciate you. I appreciate you saying nice things about me, Matthew.
I guess we're fucking telling lies on this podcast now. It's cool.
I hate everything you've ever done.
All right.
And as far as I'm concerned, I could do this alone.
All right. I'm going to go take a nap in the closet over here.
Yeah, right. You'd go downstairs back to the chair. You would at least make it that far.
I'd probably make it in the hallway and crawl underneath that little cubby.
Just wake up in the morning, you're tucked underneath the chair. Like okay.
Staring at you like.
All right, number 1 in the news headlines. Gamescom 2020 started on Thursday, and as all other conventions, it too has gone digital. Below and coming up are the recaps from the days so far. And when I say days so far, I mean just the opening night, because nobody edited this to add in a second day. And I don't think there was really anything more except continuation. So
gives us something to talk about next week, maybe, if there's some surprises.
Yeah, we'll see. The opening night live stream started it all off, and the first thing that we saw was the Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War trailer, which we're going to get to in its own story. But hey, just for doing this chronologically, that was a thing. Then we saw Unknown 9 Awakening. Then Unknown 9 Awakening gave us its first look via a cinematic trailer, a game in which a child tries to understand her powers coming to PC and next gen. Trailer it was fully cinematic, so you can't tell like what the game is, but she's a child that is getting chased by the other kids, and it looks like one goes to hit her with a stick, and she like blinks into another realm because she sees the shadow still swing through her, and then blinks back, and she's now standing behind him, and everybody's like really confused. I'm
also confused.
It's one of those where it's like once it said it was coming to next gen only, I was like, all right, cool, I'll wait to see more. Then Doom's DLC, The Ancient Gods, got its first trailer, and you guessed it, more Doom, more slaughter, more hell, rip and tear.
How many DLCs are they doing? Do we know?
I felt like I think it's at least 2. I don't remember if we knew that there was more than that, though. It's at least 2. And it's campaign DLC, so...
Yeah, I remember them wanting to build out like a whole world, so...
That was the whole idea with it being a Doom Eternal, and
mm-hmm.
We're going to have this vast blah, blah, blah. I'm always down for more Doom. I don't know if I talked about it last week, but GDQ finished on Sunday, I think. And I watched the Doom Eternal speedrun. 2 hours on a harder difficulty than I played. I played on a lower difficulty, and it took me 15 hours. This guy did it in, I think, sub 2 hours on a higher difficulty, and just watching the movement and him demolish enemies hurt me emotionally. The hardest enemy, the Marauder, for me in the game, he's like, oh yeah, you heard a bunch of people complain about this when the game came out. Oh, he's so hard. Launches a frost grenade, hits him with 6 rockets, and he's dead, and they move on. And I was just like, what?
There's always someone better than you. And when it comes to games,
Very true.
There's a lot of people better than you.
Yes.
Which can be really disheartening.
It's not even so, it's disheartening, but it's also one of those, how did I not see anybody or hear of anybody doing that at the time? So I could have had that idea. I'm not even so annoyed that I didn't come up with the idea. But how did I not see a Reddit clip of that same thing where people were,
Yeah.
Then, with the 25th anniversary of BioWare's existence happening, the team decided to show off the first look at the new Dragon Age, which was all completely conceptual.
Yeah, everyone referring to this as a first look is blatantly full of shit.
Yeah. I mean, first look at what?
Concept art.
Is it technically more than what we got during EA's event where everybody said, "Ooh, that was Dragon Age," when we saw 2 stills of environments?
Yeah.
Yes. In the definition of is it more? Yes. How much more is by a thin piece of paper?
I'm fairly certain we saw as much Anthem in that clip as we saw Dragon Age.
They were bold as shit to put that Anthem suit in the shot for their studio.
Mm-hmm.
I was just like, oh boy, you're going to remind people you made that while you're trying to tout the new Dragon Age?
Mm-hmm.
That's a bold move, Cotton.
I bet they're going to try to swing what's the word I'm looking for here?
Pendulum.
Swing something. I don't know. I think they're going to try to pivot on Anthem and turn it into a success story and use it in a marketing way.
But they have to make it successful.
I know, but I'm that's what I'm worried about though, is that's the approach they're going to go, because I've noticed that Anthem has started to creep in a little bit on when they're talking about stuff and this type of thing and updates from BioWare and stuff like that. I'm like, all right, you're starting to talk more about Anthem when you went dark for a really long time.
Well, this is them just slowly acknowledging that they were never doing the rebuild that the people thought they were.
They did a blog update about the rebuild, completely acknowledging it and being like, we're doing it all, all ground up.
Yeah, and then somebody was like, what if we just made Dragon Age and just kind of forget this exists? Nobody's asking for us to fix it anymore because they all moved on.
I mean, they could just get some good press.
Think about it. We're asking them. We're not asking anything of them, actually. Let's just stop there. We're not asking anything of BioWare. But when you think about it.
Well, what we're asking from them is
one successful launch out of a good title.
I don't even know if we need successful. One mediocre launch.
Carefully. That's how you got Andromeda.
Andromeda was bad.
Okay, so
I want something that's like a...
Inquisition was mediocre.
I'd take that. I'd take that again.
Okay. I need you to be above Inquisition for my personal preference, but not by much. But there were clear engine problems with an Inquisition that need to not exist in the new Dragon Age. But here's what I'm saying. Anthem entire rebuild. This rumor of a Mass Effect remaster...
Yeah, they could have dropped that. I would have been happy.
And Dragon Age. We are currently looking at BioWare to make 3 games, and they haven't launched one correct title in the last 3 they've done.
How many do they even have? They have 3 studios, right?
At least.
Yeah.
2 of them we know for sure.
And it's not been confirmed that the Mass Effect remaster is happening in-house either. It could be someone else doing it.
Yeah, they could have.
Which might be a good thing.
It honestly might be a great thing. Might be the best thing they could have done. But after not really seeing some of the shots that work, it was kind of cool just to see the voice actors doing their lines and stuff. And the one comment that was weird was the guy when he's discussing Solus, and people are like, or the guy said, what did he say? He said, there's a group that wants to marry him, and there's a group that wants to kill him. And there's a group that wants to do both.
Mm-hmm.
I was just like,
I just don't. If it's not ready, I don't know. It's just that it just goes back to that thing. And I feel this way about most games. And specifically, I feel that way passionately towards BioWare at this moment. If you're not going to be releasing it in the next couple months,
stop talking.
Just fucking shut up. Shut up.
Yeah. even that game's not coming next year either.
No,
that's
the thing.
Which is my thing. I give them a 12-month window, where if you're going to show up in 12 months before your expected launch date, okay. But this isn't coming in 12 months. There's no way.
And if it does, ooh boy.
If that shows up in 12 months, I will be on this podcast talking about it, and Matt and I will both be going, can you fucking believe that this exists?
It'll be the Picard.
That might be BioWare's first early access title. Think about that. That's how they decide to ship a Dragon Age game.
That would be horrible. I could swallow it if they did like a free-to-play early access type Anthem rebuild thing. I could swallow that.
That's just what they need to do with Anthem when it comes back. It needs to go free to play and hope they can recover. It's I don't know. The funny thing, even with the Solus comments, and then you see one of the wardens, they gave him a name. I wanted to say it was not Draven, but Darvin, something with a D.
I wasn't paying attention to the names.
But those characters, like Solus, yes, I remember. But I better have a way to look at my Inquisition save file, because I don't remember exactly, because you could end differently with everybody.
And that was the thing. It's like, it's been so long now.
Solus is the only constant.
Yeah.
For the most part. He has a couple different endings, but they all allude to the same path part of it.
I recognize the voices. I did not recognize like characters. I couldn't tell you what is going on in the story.
Yeah.
Like,
even then I went back and watched right after it happened. I went and just searched Dragon Age to see if there was something else. And I saw a couple clips of old videos, and I'm just looking at the game like, I don't remember any of these cutscenes.
Yeah. None. Pretty terrible.
So it'll be, I'm not excited. I'm intrigued.
Yeah.
Just because of the idea, we know it exists now. We know they're going to do it. Now is it? We know that the train's supposed to show up at noon. Let's see if it crashes before it gets here, type of thing.
Yeah,
we'll find out.
Mild curiosity.
Yeah, and you know what they say about curiosity. I don't have a transition out of that. So then after Dragon Age, one and only Christopher Lloyd showed up. Doc Brown himself.
That was weird.
It was. I don't like. Can he play a different character at this point? Like, can he even be himself and get recognized? I don't think he can. I think he has to be Doc Brown now.
Yeah, that's all he's got.
Which is the part that, I mean, all he's got. He's also probably made so much money off of that. But it was kind of weird to have him do it. But anyway, Christopher Lloyd made sure to do one of our favorite things and announced the release of Surgeon Simulator 2 out now. Now, if you watch the video back, he does the out now. He did the finger drop, and I was just like, yeah, man of the people, Christopher Lloyd, woo!
Well, I will say that the interaction and the way they did it, I was expecting it to be more awkward than it was.
Yes. Every time you get celebrities,
like
on stage,
I feel like Christopher Lloyd did a better job than Jeff Keighley did in the pairing of the two.
Yeah. I mean, Keighley did the good part of just step back and just let him go.
Yeah.
Just let him run with it. And he played the whole thing up into character. And he threw in a line about the fact that he had to go back to the future so he could catch the movie Avengers 26.
Yeah,
Rise of the Son of, or Return of the Son of Thanos or something like that in 2077. So it's like, even if he's reading a script, the way he delivered it was perfectly executed for everything that anybody was expecting out of it, if not higher. So it was a pretty cool thing. Surgeon Simulator 2, more Surgeon Simulator, except this one has co-op, which, watching some people play, not terrifying, but I feel like I'd be ripping my hair out.
Oh, yeah, it's one of those games.
Oh, yeah. I mean, Surgeon Simulator already was. where you're just, I need to be so dainty and slowly take this man's rib cage out. And oh no, I dropped my saw and oh, he's bleeding out. How do I stop the bleeding? Oh, I stabbed myself with a hallucinogen. Everything is colorful. And it was also super hard to control because it was one of the, the hand games. So you had every finger was a key and you had to grab things, and VR would be interesting.
Did they did it in VR, right?
I think they did the first one. I don't know if the second one has a VR component or not.
It might be genuinely like fun to try to play the game legitimately if you had like a Valve with the full finger tracking.
Yeah, if you had a full hand track.
Yeah.
That would definitely just like, I put my 2 fingers, I picked this up, I very daintily cut this cord, perfect, I throw that away because I don't want it near us. After Christopher Lloyd went back to the future, we got a new game announcement that no one saw coming, nor did I hear anybody asking for. Bridge Constructor, The Walking Dead, coming 2020 to both Xboxes, both PlayStations, PC, Switch, and apparently mobile. So if you own any piece of technology, you'll be able to play this.
Yes, it was weird. I didn't hate the idea of it, though.
Okay, I mean, I guess I don't hate it, but my interest level is at a 0. There's no hate. I'm just like, okay, cool. Bridge Constructor. It's 2020. Why is The Walking Dead as a tie-in?
I mean, I guess, let me rephrase that. Not specifically The Walking Dead, but them pairing with another, like with a franchise.
With an out-of-their idea type thing.
Yeah, mainly to like give you a purpose in bridge construction.
Right. I guess kind of like I don't remember what the full name of the game is, but there's the one that's the Portal one where you have to do the same type of thing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's an interesting brand pairing, but like I said, I don't know who. Saying I don't know who it's for is probably not fair to it, because they're releasing it on mobile, which is where I think its best stuff will be.
Yeah, for sure.
I don't see anybody going, oh, I'm so happy I got my Series X to play that.
I'll fucking do it.
No, you won't. I'll call your bluff right now.
I'll do it on PS5.
Somebody hold him to that. After that,
go ahead.
All right.
I won't do that. I won't flame the fire.
Do you want to bury yourself any further down there?
I won't stoke the fire or dig the hole any deeper. Or...
I got lumber, man. I'll start throwing. After Bridge Constructor came the Sam and Max franchise, returning for the first time in roughly 10 years to debut a new, supposedly VR title. Nobody was confirmed about the VR thing, so that's why I had to say supposedly. But you do see him throw on what looks like a cardboard viewfinder. And then the rabbit starts talking to a girl. That's all we saw. I have absolutely no idea what this will be. I didn't care about Sam and Max 10 years ago.
Yeah, I got nothing on this one.
Keeley was pumped, though.
Keeley would be pumped. He would.
He even gave it a good yes. The most Napoleon Dynamite yes I've ever seen done, not in the movie Napoleon Dynamite. Following that announcement, World of Warcraft Shadowlands made an appearance to announce that the next expansion, Shadowlands, will be releasing on October 27th, 2020. They also showed the first of multiple animated cinematics that will tell stories leading into Shadowlands. The one they debuted was the one they're covering the 4 covenants.
Yeah, so it's going to be 4 of them.
There'll be 4 of them, and the first one they showed off was the one covering Bastion.
Yeah,
Bastion's the zone, not the covenant. The Aether are the Kyrian and Bastion are the. I'll get there. It's gonna be trust me, I'll get there. It's gonna take me 2 months because it'll be a whole expansion, and I'll learn everything then. But we'll get there. I'm just happy to have a release date.
Yeah, it's nice.
And after reviewed with my other two WoW people, I believe I won the contest for what would the release date be.
Congratulations.
So, yes.
Do you get a trophy?
In my heart.
You should at least have them get you a cookie or something.
I need another room to put my ego in. It only fits so much. Just gotta kind of like shove it out the door into the other rooms. The debut of a new Warhammer game called Warhammer Age of Sigmar Stormground, coming 2021 to PC, Switch, PlayStation 4, and Xbox One, which I found really interesting because in their trailer they never mentioned anything about next gen. But it comes out next year.
I don't know. That's the thing.
And that happened a few times during this show.
This is the weird thing about... I don't know. Maybe I'm not remembering it correctly, but I feel like... No, the previous generation had more of a hard line, right?
I would say definitely more of a hard line, but I also don't remember almost being in September with a November release on the horizon. And us having conversations about games getting announced for not those gens.
Yeah,
like at that point, you were having ones getting announced for both.
I feel like it's a very weird situation.
And maybe it's just that eventually they will discuss it is coming, but we don't know when they're coming, so we can't say that they're coming type of thing. But it's, according to the trailer, not even in the possibilities of eventually on a PS5 or Xbox Series X.
Mm-hmm.
So
I don't know. I'm so confused now with the new consoles. Like the whole backwards compatibility thing, I feel like is just thrown out the window now. Like it's just all over the place.
Let's not even bring up the consoles because I'm going to get into an argument with somebody. So the rhetoric on the interwebs.
Well, that's your first mistake.
It's why I just read it though, and I don't say anything back.
Yeah.
I don't cast voices out into the ether because, well, if you look into the abyss long enough, yada yada. And it's constantly dealing with the prices of the consoles. And every time people are like, there's this one, the Series X and PS5, and then there's their digital versions. And every time I've seen their digital versions get brought up, I have seen conversations that the digital price point would be between $100 to $200 less than the one with a disk drive. And I don't understand. I want to understand how people are evaluating that high of a number. Because there's a lot of questions I have in how they determined that it was over $100 less. I have seen certain people throw around the idea that the default options will be $4.99 and that a digital one will be $2.99, and I think those people are high as a kite.
I would agree with that sentiment.
But then the following reason of it, because it's all digital. What?
I mean, I guess Blu-ray drives, like 4K. They have 4K Blu-ray drives in there.
Yeah, they're not that much.
No, especially when you consider they're probably going to buy them in bulk. They don't have to worry about all the things attached to like a Blu-ray player because obviously the hardware can handle it. So they literally just have to worry about the drive itself. They probably get them for like $20 a pop. I would imagine, maybe less.
And when have they ever sold consoles at cost
Never.
or profit?
Never. I mean, they want you. I mean, maybe it wouldn't be true. All right, so maybe it wouldn't be true for Microsoft. Maybe Microsoft has a different business model. But Sony 100%, I think, wants you to buy the more expensive console. They want you to have the disc drive.
Internals hover around $100.
Yeah.
So that would, okay, if that's your entire argument, is that the disc drive
There's no way
for those guys is $100. What?
I think I've kind of kept my eye on those, and I think they're still expensive because there's no reason for them, so they have no market penetration.
Right.
Whereas
the
when you're
reason for them is games.
Yeah, when you're talking about consoles, I think it's a totally different story. I think that their drives are probably like $20 a piece.
Yeah, because an external Blu-ray 4K drive is $30.
Yeah.
$30 to $40. Unless you buy like one of the stupid high-end ones or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Also, it
just doesn't make sense.
People can't.
Everyone would buy the digital version. Like, no one, if there's genuinely a $200 difference,
and the only discussion is a disc drive,
no one would buy it. No one.
Why would you ever spend $200 more?
Yeah.
That's asinine to even suggest that would be a difference. Even $100, I think, is insane to me. If there's literally no differences besides the fact that it's a disc drive or not. The other problem that we always know, especially when we start talking about consoles, is if I tell you, hey, an internal disc drive is $100 based on what I just Googled really fast. Okay, cool. So here's how we can evaluate the rest of those parts, Matt, because you know how this breakdown's starting.
Mm-hmm.
The $500 one, $100 disc drive, boom, you now have $400 to build what the rest of that console is. Take a guess what that SSD cost. Have a bet it's not $100 or $200 or $300. And the processor and the motherboard and your GPU.
Yeah. I mean, I fully expect, I don't know if they've said anything, but I bet the SSD is going to be the most expensive component on those.
Because they're proprietary.
Yeah, they're custom made.
They're going to be stupid. And it's not like they're both using the same, they're both using two different SSDs.
Yeah. All right, we're getting sidetracked.
We're so far off track, but my blood, man, is boiling. I got a fever of 103. So that was Warhammer.
Kind of.
Which was then followed by Crash Bandicoot, who apparently got lost wandering around Cologne waiting for Gamescom to start, but luckily the dev team was on standby to reveal a new feature in the upcoming game called Flashback Levels. The levels are unlocked by picking up tapes in the regular game, which unlock these new puzzle rooms. An homage to old Crash things and more OG Crash lore. If you love Crash, it's more Crash. Can you complain about that? No, you can't.
Now you got Crash in your Crash.
You want some Crash on that Crash? It was weird seeing him, because the way they did the video of him just wandering around Cologne, and he still had his mask, the big old Crash suit with a Crash mask on, just kind of wandering around the convention center that's completely empty. Kind of funny. There was a trailer for the upcoming game Outriders, releasing holiday 2020, coming to basically everything, including Stadia, but no Switch release. Looks like an interesting I don't know. See, this is the problem. Because we're just doing a rundown.
Yeah.
I could spend 30 minutes and go in and research each of these games and have that time. It's already going to be a long podcast. We don't need to do that. But it looks like there's 3 characters in a PvE environment. Shooties and abilities. Destroy your enemy and find the heart of whatever.
Yeah, sounds good.
Whatever event horizon happened. Looked interesting. I was at least intrigued. I saw an Uber Soldier Shield, which means nothing if you don't know the reference I'm talking about. There's a game called Uber Soldier. I gotta stop just even saying it. In which you put up a shield in front of you that stopped bullets. And it just kind of held them there. And you could keep walking and walk the bullets through enemies and kill them.
Nice. Kind of rude, but nice.
Well, that's what happens when your game is coded if bullet touches enemy, it dies. There was a trailer for what can only be described as an anime soccer game called Captain Tsubasa, which we already said is out now for PS4, Switch, and PC. And holy shit, is it an anime soccer game.
It is genuinely an anime soccer game.
Yeah, because Captain Tsubasa is an anime.
Yep.
And this is the most anime sports-looking game I've seen.
I'm down. I like it.
It was actually kind of cool to watch. I don't think I would throw my money at it.
No, I'd never play it, but I'm behind it.
Yeah.
You do you.
Captain Tsubasa. Another Warhammer game called Necromunda Underhive Wars was shown off. Face rival gangs in tactical gunfights for power, wealth, survival, and honor. Out September 8th for PC, PS4, and Xbox One.
Those Warhammer games, man, they're going hard.
That's 3 announced in the last month and a half.
Who would have thought?
Somebody, apparently. The next trailer was for Teardown. Plan the perfect heist using creative problem solving, brute force, and everything around you. Teardown features a fully destructible and truly interactive environment where player freedom and emergent gameplay are the driving mechanics. The moment you pick up your first target, an alarm goes off and the heat is on. Run, jump, dive, slingshot. Do whatever you need to collect all of the targets and escape before security arrives.
This game looks awesome for the destructible environments. I was on board before I even watched the rest of the trailer. I blatantly tuned out at some point because I didn't pick up on the whole
You saw the first 5 seconds, went, I'm in.
Yeah.
What else?
Yeah, that was exactly what happened. But it sounds cool. Cool
Yeah.
little puzzle-ish.
Yeah, the
game.
trailer looks pretty cool. It's a minute, 10 seconds, but like I said, you build. I'm curious if you see where your targets are and stuff, and then you build an obstacle course for yourself essentially to get all your targets and get out as fast as you can. And the way they do it in the trailer of driving just cars and through buildings and semi trucks that are on fire into the ocean and everything like that, looks like it'll be fun.
Yeah.
Little Nightmares 2 got a gameplay reveal, and it still has that great creepy vibe to it.
Very creepy.
Small people in a little raincoat. Then the one and only Jerry the King Lawler announced the debut of WWE Battlegrounds, the arcade-style fighting game that brings multiple generations of wrestlers together, coming September 18th. Looks like a cool, fun arcade fighter.
Yeah.
Not Street Fighter when I say arcade fighter, but just arcade and over-the-top, jump in the air really high, do a bunch of silly things. I think at one point in the trailer, one of the characters has one of those squeaky hammers. When you hit it on either side, it just and they have that as a giant version of it.
I think it would make sense for them to ping pong, not do. You know how they were doing WWE 2K.
Are you gonna say do one every other year?
Yeah.
With this interlaced into it.
Yeah,
or some other title interlaced into it.
Mm-hmm.
It wouldn't be a bad idea. And they're also currently on correct course for that because of how bad 2K was last year.
Yeah.
So,
I feel like the teams that are working on these games would probably appreciate 2 years to make them instead of 1. But
yeah. And 2K falls into the same arguments, or the 2K wrestling games fall into the same arguments that a lot of the sport games do, where you're it's the same thing year after year. What did the hell?
And I'm assuming they don't sell as well as the sports games.
Not your traditional sports games,
Yeah.
no. Not even close. Then again, the sports games also have... Not that WWE doesn't have a worldwide appeal, because it does, but Europe alone could drive FIFA sales for a year.
And yeah, it does.
And it does for the most part. It doesn't need... There is no... Last I knew, if you pulled up our MPD numbers out of Europe for WWE, it's not going to crack a top 10.
Yeah.
After that, we got the Star Wars block. The Star Wars block showed off a few things. First was more of a campaign mission and gameplay from Star Wars Squadrons, the upcoming flight game. Any thoughts?
Not really.
Just more squadrons.
Yeah. Nothing.
I'm still out on it, but that's only because I suck at flying games.
Same. That's kind of my issue with it. It's not for me.
Yeah.
So
it looks good.
Yeah, it does.
Visually,
it
looks good.
I'm sure they'll be really cool. We'll get really cool GIFs and stuff like that of gameplay.
People that are doing insane trench runs and
yeah,
it's I can't fly.
Fucking jumping out of cockpits, shooting rocket launchers at people, getting back in the cockpit. Yeah, I don't know.
Oh man, Battlefield 3 days. I'm gonna take this jet, fly straight up, shoot the other jet with this rocket, and get back in my jet because I didn't want to use my own jet for some reason. Second was the latest Sims expansion, Journey to Batuu, coming September 8th. That was interesting. Did not see that coming.
Didn't watch it.
Full, like, I think you can actually travel to the idea of Journey to Batuu. Like, you can actually go there and whatever. But they put in the full texture pack. They show a house that they already had built up, and they reskin the entire thing over to look like a Star Wars hut. Not as like bland as like a Tatooine hut, but full out. Everything looks Star Wars, and then the inside they do almost like a full cantina floor.
That's a really cool idea
for the base. It actually looks really. Lightsabers are out there, droids, the whole thing.
Nice.
I'm going to show you it because now that you didn't watch it, because it's actually pretty cool. I don't really give a shit about The Sims, but this was the first one where I was like, do I want to play The Sims right now? I have EA access right now for Madden. Do I want to download The Sims? And then finally was the Lego Star Wars The Skywalker Saga gameplay trailer. The Skywalker Saga is coming in 2021 and releasing on all consoles, which is current and next gen.
Yo, whoever cut that trailer.
They cut that trailer so well.
Fire. Yeah, it was good.
So well that there is a solid chance Matt and I on our PS5s are
I will
Skywalker
play that game
Saga
so hard.
Do you want to do what we talked about for Speed Racer and play Star Wars Skywalker Saga?
That would be pretty crazy. I would do that. That'd be fantastic. I'm not saying I would platinum it, but I did spend a good amount of my time collecting all the gold bricks and all that good stuff on the previous Star Wars games. So,
man, I might have my save files on my GameCube because I have the 2 sagas upstairs.
Mm-hmm.
But that trailer looks so good. The pod racing,
God,
that looked so crisp. And all I needed to hear was, now this is pod racing. And I would have been right in. Been right there.
I love their stupid humor, too. The stupid Lego game humor.
Oh, yeah. The stupid Lego humor in such a serious franchise. Or like, even when they're not in serious franchise. I was watching, before you came up, when I was just kind of grinding Ghost of Tsushima finishing. My phone was playing an old stream of Ray's where he was doing Lego City Undercover, and they're just in a conversation constantly. And at one point, somebody's like, "Oh, hey Harry, how many cups of coffee did you have today?" And he starts doing the Dirty Harry, "How many shots did I have?" conversation, discussing cups of coffee, and I'm just like, what child is playing the Lego game that knows the Dirty Harry reference? There was a Sherlock and Watson reference. There's just so many intercut references and things. But yeah, I think the big one in the trailer, not counting the porgs that are dressed up like Luke.
Yeah, that was a good one.
The Emperor.
Throwing that.
Yeah, when he's just got the 2 lightning things, he's just like, yeah, these don't work. And he just throws them at him.
That's going to be good. I look forward to that one.
Yeah, I'm pumped. Next was 12 Minutes from Annapurna Interactive. I should repeat, the game is titled 12 Minutes from publisher Annapurna Interactive. And this time they added a star-studded cast to include Willem Dafoe, James McAvoy, and Daisy Ridley.
It's kind of crazy.
Yeah. The game looked interesting when we first saw it a couple months ago. Oh, maybe it was a year ago. Was that E3? Was it E3 last year?
Yeah, it's been a while.
Okay, so E3 last year.
And I don't think at that time, there was any voiceover at all.
No, they just showed it constantly happen, like because you're in that 12-minute. The whole 12-minute thing is you're stuck in a time loop trying to figure out what's going on or whatever. And the original trailer, there's no voiceover, and you're just watching as the guy and the girl in the shot are at some points like arguing, or only one's there, one comes home. Somebody at one point gets arrested, and there's just all these things going on, and you're like, what is happening? So I'm curious with if those two are voicing characters. It sounds based on this trailer, Defoe is your narrator.
Mm-hmm.
I'm in.
I'm all right. I'm in. Yeah.
And Annapurna doesn't usually make bad games.
Mm-hmm.
Spoiler alert, that gives you Donut County. Great game. Sayonara Wild Hearts, great game. I'm forgetting other ones, I'm sorry, but great games.
Yeah.
What Remains of Edith Finch is them. Fun games. Godfall showed off a little bit more gameplay, and quite literally a little. To the point where when they ended the trailer, I thought they cut it early.
Yeah, I didn't watch the whole trailer, but the little
it's 30 seconds.
Yeah, I looked over at it a few times briefly, and it was everything in that trailer was very abrupt. How it started, there was weird it could have been issues on my stream, maybe perhaps, or maybe it was
every now and then it was stuttering for me, not just during Godfall, but the trailer they're showing you a new. I don't remember what they call the bodies, but they're showing you a new one of those.
Yeah.
And
looked like a bird or something, didn't it?
It looks like a bee.
Yeah.
Or like a bug of sorts, because it's got the big eye faces, then it's got like little wings. Reminded me immediately of a bee. And they're doing the combat or whatever. And they kill an enemy, they're kind of standing back. And then it looks like they want to start continuing to do more, and the trailer just stops. And I'm like, was that supposed to happen? Or it was abrupt, and it was just weird.
Yeah.
Weird feeling. Override Super Mech League 2 had a trailer. It's mechs, it's fighting. It's a second one? They ended their announcement by mentioning a special crossover announcement coming in September. So an announcement with an announcement.
Cool.
If you like mechs and you like fighting.
Gundam.
One of them kind of looks like a Gundam.
Maybe that's the special announcement. They got that new robot in Japan that's going to be coming out soon. They finished it, put the head on, they had the head moving. Its body is complete. It's ready to invade.
It's ready to invade. It has become weaponized. It's only a matter of time, people. Tinfoil hat time.
I can't wait to show you the video of it fucking walking. You're going to be like, what the fuck?
All right, mark that down. You show me that video, I show you Sim Star Wars.
Okay.
Somebody take mental notes and let me know at the end of the show. Then the Mafia Remaster got a new trailer, and it looks surprisingly like it might turn out okay after all.
Yeah, maybe they spent all their time on this game, which I'm hoping that's the case.
Based on the trailer, they at least spent more time on this game than they did Mafia 2.
Yeah. I never played any of the Mafia games, but I mean, if it looks as good as it does, I think I would pick this one up and play it.
So I played 2 originally, not this air quotes remaster that came out. I specifically did not buy the remaster after I saw how bad it was. I played Mafia 3 at launch, which, say what you will, I didn't have as many problems. I had some problems with it, but not as many as everybody wanted to claim about. I thought the story was great and overshadowed for people by poor gameplay, but I thought the story was pretty cool. Nothing like listening to it all along the watchtower than the moment the game starts up, and I'm just like, Hendrix, yeah. But this one, yeah, like you said, it looks good, and I'm just kind of going, yes, don't fuck it up now. You're so close to the end. Just step over the finish line and release a good game. But I also realize at the same time, I'm on a gangster kick. Kind of.
Oh yeah. Well, there's been a few games that
because this one, and then when Empire's Sin drops, I'm going full on Chicago gangster.
Yeah.
I'm gonna get myself. I was gonna say piano player. I don't remember what the nickname for the Tommy gun is, but
I don't know. I don't remember.
Anyway, we'll move on. In a trailer that was too confusing for me to understand, Lemnis Gate, a game in which you are in control of a 25-second time loop versus your enemy, coming 2021 to PC, PS4, and Xbox One. Another one where we're like PS5, Series X? No, okay.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't have anything to say about this game. I'll wait, I guess.
It hurts my brain because I think I know what it's doing, and I think we both have an understanding of what we think it's doing, but I'm betting that what we think it's doing is we're like, oh, dude, I love apples. That makes sense. Apples are pretty good. Why are you selling me a pineapple? That is not even close to an apple. Just because it has apple in the name. Every time I look at it, I get more confused. Even when we watched it again, I've watched that trailer 5 times now, and every time I see something else and go, but whoa, wait, what?
Yeah, I don't know. I'm gonna wait and hear more on it because it's just
I'm intrigued to potentially watch somebody that's good play it and like gets it and just see certain like strategy type of things. And if they can explain what's happening, I'll be much happier.
At the present time, I don't understand how this can be a fun game, but it's cool.
At the present time, I'm too confused. This would be so if we sat down at PAX, we'd have to sit down like every day in a row and go, now what happened yesterday? Because I still don't understand. You'd get up from the demo and be like, so how'd you like it? And you just stare at them blankly because you've been so confused trying to figure it out for the last 10 minutes. The fleshy co-op or single-player game known as Struggling got a trailer shown off. And as we love, it's out now on Steam and Switch. Single player or co-op, play some arms, get through some levels, do some gross flesh stuff. Age of Empires 3 Definitive Edition got a new trailer to show off its new visuals and to tell you of 2 new civilizations, the Incas and the Swedes. 2 new game modes and cross-platform multiplayer, all coming on October 15th to Steam and Game Pass for PC. So guess what? All I'm saying is you play a little $5, you get to play Age of Empires 3 Definitive Edition on Game Pass for PC.
There it is. Go play it.
And in this entire list of the rundown from this video, I did not include the entire commercial for Game Pass where they just constantly kept screaming about the best deal in gaming.
They're not wrong.
Not even close to wrong. Not even close. More gameplay of Corvus. And until you change that damn V to a U, I refuse to acknowledge you, was shown off, coming in 2021.
So is it Chorus? Or
it's Chorus.
It's Chorus.
Yeah.
Literally, I agree that it says Corvus.
Yeah, they write Corvus because they use the Roman U. And then right below that, they write chorusgame.com in complete English. I'm just like, I hate you. Fall Guys Season 2 was revealed, showing off new costumes like a medieval hero and new courses that will be coming in the new season as well. Medieval themed castles and such. Build ramps, jump through hoops. Be a witch, be a dragon, be whatever you want. Grab that crown, be a winner. Or fall.
This is like a nice little commercial you did there.
I will take my payment in the form of Sour Patch Kids. Vince Zampella came by the event to show off their next new title called Medal of Honor Above and Beyond VR, coming holiday 2020. I personally, Matt, cannot wait to see the silly GIFs or videos in general that come out of this supposedly serious game.
Medal of Honor, man.
It looks like a Medal of Honor game.
It does. For better or for worse.
And for what that means for people, if you ever played Medal of Honor in about 2008,
yeah,
there you go.
I'm really confused by this. I was not expecting a VR title.
I wasn't expecting a Medal of Honor title.
Yeah. I could see Medal of Honor. I mean, it's...
Can you?
The first few Medal of Honors were good. Went downhill. I could see them reviving
Allied
it.
Assault?
I could see them reviving it successfully. Not necessarily in VR, but whatever. You know, you guys do you.
I like the idea of branching it into VR. What I don't like is our potential worry that it's exclusive to Oculus.
Yeah, that would be
bad.
I mean, there are a lot of Oculus headsets out there, but you can't, like...
It would suck.
The whole... Facebook is going to fucking ruin VR. And their whole Oculus exclusivity thing is not going to be good in the long run. But
yep. But
I digress.
I will back away from this tempting conversation. If anybody's curious about what I mean by the silly videos, type in LA Noir VR funny moments or something like that into YouTube. It's like a 3-minute video, and it's all the weird stuff. You get in the mirror and you're just kind of dancing around and having fun. All the movement just is so entertaining, and I so badly can see the potential, and I want it to come out of Medal of Honor.
I'm sure we'll see some shit for sure.
I dance like that in the club, and nobody's going to get the joke. Spellbreak got a large trailer and will be officially released on Epic, Xbox, PS4, and Switch on September 3rd, at which point you can play for free.
Looks
Nice
interesting.
Mage Battle Royale.
I mean, if you can genuinely fly around and like shoot fireballs at stuff and stuff at people, that'd be cool.
You pretty much can. I watched Shroud play it for a bit when it dropped into early access, or beta, whatever they want to call it. A return to a 30-year-old title called Turrican came straight from the devs in Germany. A return to a title that I've never heard of, so I have no basis. It looks like a Metroid I don't even know if Metroidvania. Probably closer just to Metroid game.
Same. Don't know it.
Good for them. The guy was really excited when doing the voiceover, so I'm like, yeah, cool. And to wrap the whole thing up, Ratchet & Clank Rift Apart got a lengthy campaign gameplay reveal, all captured on a PS5. Really worth checking out, I wrote.
Yeah, the smoothness of the gameplay, like the frame rate, the transitions when they do that crazy dimensional pull.
Yep.
The falling through the portal. It's just all like, it's hard to explain because like
if you watch it not knowing what we know of intricacies and the last 15 years of gaming and stuff like that, you could just watch it and go, yeah, that makes sense. That all looks like it should.
Mm-hmm.
But you see it all work perfectly and quickly and smoothly, and you're just like, oh.
Whoa. Yeah, there was just something about it. I was just like,
it's
this
visually
is great.
pleasing. Like, there's never. Granted, we didn't see a stutter in the video, but yeah, I mean, would you? Maybe. But they're dropping enemies constantly. There's a bunch of stuff going on. Like we're saying, the rift. So you get into like a one level, and there's a yellow portal that you can use to warp around the level, and those transitions and everything were just nice and seamless. And I wasn't a I was never a Ratchet and Clank person. This goes back to our conversation we've had before, how like I wasn't a PlayStation kid, so I didn't have Ratchet and Clank. But when the remastered one came out, around the whole movie and everything like that, and everybody loved that, and it was visually good, I went and tried to play it on my PlayStation for a bit, and I just couldn't get like hooked into it. Something about it, I don't know. I was just kind of like, right, well, it's a thing, whatever. I'm intrigued by this one. They still don't have a launch date. They still say launch window for PS5. The PS5 launch window. So it'll be a little disheartening if I can't, depending on what the true launch day titles are for PS5. If they're good enough and I can wait for this, that's cool. But if they're not, and this could have been there, But either way.
It's probably not something that I'll pick up and play, but I really enjoy seeing it, and I appreciate what, like, when we first saw it, it kind of like low key, I don't want to say blew me away, but I was like really impressed, and I was like, this is what we can look forward to at the start of a new console generation. I'm thrilled.
Yeah, after you see that and you see Gran Turismo, and you're like, are we starting this bitch off like this?
Yeah, it's like, okay.
Shit, you guys setting a bar that you are never going to hit again.
That would be really sad.
They're like, hey, we shot for the moon. By the way, we didn't realize how far away the moon was. It takes a lot of gas to keep getting there, so here's some low-quality B titles.
Finally, we're on to number 2.
Yeah, can you believe that was Gamescom?
Another long one. Not quite as long, but long. The first day of DC Fandom was held. Is it do they pronounce it Fandom?
I don't know. It's a play on the word fandom, obviously,
Yeah.
and fandom being, I think, the idea that everybody's in a bubble, so they're just we're
right.
all in this dome to all watch. We're all descending on this place type of thing. I'm gonna keep saying fandom throughout the whole thing. So
right.
I don't care what they said. They wrote fandom. Deal with it.
Well, that was held on the 22nd. Let's run through the recap.
24 hours.
Yeah.
Which was a really interesting move.
I didn't know this was happening. And I woke up the next morning, made my coffee, sat down, popped on the TV, popped on YouTube. And it was like, what I'm going to read here is like boom, 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 as far as like recommended stuff to watch. And I was like, what the fuck happened last night?
I was watching.
I sent you the text message. I think I was like,
You're like, what's going on? And I was like, DC fandom event, 24 hours, whole thing. But I forgot about it after we recorded and started, my Twitter feed's just going, Greg, Alana, blah, everybody just, oh, Gotham Knights. Oh, what we're going to talk about, the Batman trailer, Wonder, and I'm just like, well done for these guys. Paris is in there talking about all his thoughts, and I was like, this, I like this. I'm the DC kid. I appreciate DC. DC is where I would align versus Marvel. Not that I don't have anything against Marvel, but I was a DC kid. Superman, Batman, mostly Batman, Green Lantern.
Mm-hmm.
Let's not talk about the movie. It sucked, but
yeah.
Anyway, about Gotham.
First up, we saw the second trailer of Wonder Woman 1984, which revealed Cheetah, played by Kristen Wiig.
Yeah.
It's the thing.
Yeah.
Looked good. Cool.
Trailer looked good. More Wonder Woman's always good. Yeah. I like the humor shots we get of Chris Pine in a 40-year future.
Yeah, what's the deal? I don't get the deal with that.
You'll find out. But him being in the future and trying to have to adapt to all these things that he's just what's the line? The parachute pants.
Mm-hmm.
Like, what? Does everybody parachute now?
WB Montreal's Batman game Gotham Knights has finally been revealed. You'll take control of Robin, Batgirl, Nightwing, and Red Hood. It'll be entirely playable solo or with 2-player online co-op. A 7-minute gameplay trailer showcases the type of gameplay. WB Montreal confirmed that it takes place in a separate timeline. Each character will have their own set of abilities, such as Robin's ability to teleport short distances in combat using the Justice League satellite, or Batgirl's many martial arts styles. Besides a plethora of Gotham goons, we got a glimpse at Mr. Freeze. The end of the official Gotham Knights trailer teased the Court of Owls involvement with a large circular room lined with coffin-like enclosures, which are likely housing the Talons, child assassins kidnapped by the Court of Owls.
So WB Montreal is the team that did Origins.
Okay.
Arkham Origins, the one, not counting the ones on 3DS for Blackgate and stuff, but that's the one offshoot that some people were not fans of. For what reasons, couldn't tell you, because it was Arkham. Mm-hmm. It was just a different story. So I don't really know what their problem was, but I enjoyed it, and I'm all in. More Arkham, and you get to play as these 4 people, and you're going to give me the option of co-op?
Yeah.
Okay.
Looks gorgeous as well.
Yeah, all the ice stuff leading up to the freeze scene. Yeah,
the lightning was really cool.
The lightning, when Freeze starts doing his freeze and shit.
Yep. Batgirl looks dope.
Yep. Robin. They don't show you in the trailer. I don't think you see Nightwing or Red Hood, but
I think you see Nightwing, not in the gameplay trailer, but the.
Oh yeah, well, yeah. I mean in the game. I mean in the gameplay part. Yeah, riding around on Batgirl's Batbike.
Mm-hmm.
Hitting jumps. She hit a sweet jump.
She did. She hit a jump. She looked dope.
Vroom vroom.
James Gunn's Suicide Squad cast has been revealed. Notably, I oh my god, I love this guy, but his fucking name fucks me up sometimes.
Idris Elba?
Yes, Idris Elba is playing Bloodsport. John Cena is Peacemaker. Nathan Fillion is TDK. Pete Davidson is Blackguard. And blah, 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 blah. It goes on for a while. There's a fuck ton of them. I'm not going to read them all. There's a whole list. You can check it out online.
I'm intrigued to see whatever the fuck this is.
Just sheer amount of people in it. I'm like,
because you're like, oh, yeah. So, yeah, Suicide Squad, Will Smith, Margot Robbie, Jared Leto, other people. What? Oh, that doesn't exist anymore? Well, I mean, it does. Oh, you just don't think it does anymore. You guys are ignoring that it exists? Gotcha.
I wonder how that's going to play, because
I'm pretty sure they just are saying it doesn't exist. Like,
but they cast a lot of the people in the same roles.
yeah, but they're just like that.
We're doing a do-over.
We're just
Mulligan.
Yeah, we called Mulligan. Listen, I can't tee off into the woods 6 times in a row. All right, Mulligan.
Milestone Comics is being revived alongside a new Static Shock comic and potential movie. An all-new digital comic will be released in February 2021, followed by an original graphic novel. As part of the revival, Milestone Comics will be releasing classic issues in digital format starting in September.
Did you ever watch Static Shock as a kid?
Yes.
Riding around on manhole covers?
Yes. Purple.
I'm trying to think if I remember the theme song.
I
don't, though.
I'm sure if I heard it, I'd be like, that's familiar,
Yeah.
but that'd be about it.
Well, because I'm also pretty sure it either says Static and or Shock in the theme song.
Yeah, probably.
Or both. And you know what? It might just say his name.
Probably. Zack Snyder's long-fabled Snyder Cut of 2017's Justice League, known as Zack Snyder's Justice League, had its first official trailer debut. Snyder also announced Justice League will debut in 4 hour-long... let me rephrase that. There'll be 4 one-hour-long chunks on HBO Max in 2021, and then the whole thing will eventually be able to be viewed as an entire film. Why you'd want to watch a 4-hour film? I don't fucking know.
Who does want to watch Lord of the Rings?
The project reportedly... Yeah, but like, that's one different thing.
Don't you sass me.
Can you imagine, first off...
That's 12 hours of movie.
That's fine. We're talking about Justice League here.
Lord of the Rings. Just take the griffins and fucking fly.
Clearly, you were uncultured swine.
Also, because my argument right there is immediately debunked if you ever go listen to Colbert, who completely goes through the entire reason they can't do that. But it is asininely long.
Yeah.
Asininely is not a word. It is insanely long for that movie.
Yeah, I really hope it does redeem it, but like I feel like there's only so much you can do.
I feel like it has to redeem it because a lot of the problem, well, it doesn't have to do anything.
Yeah.
It could entirely bomb. The movie could have been dead from the start, and this is just to hope that maybe it's better.
Yeah.
But a lot of the problem with the original one, there's a lot of stuff that just gets skipped through and nothing's explained, and you're just all of a sudden at that point, and it's like, Martha, that's Batman v Superman, but there's so much just nothing
crammed in
that for 4 hours you would hope you can actually now explain things and kind of weave a better story. I just won't watch it in 4 1-hour chunks.
The thing that blows my mind though is like they're going to introduce Superman with the black suit, which wasn't even in the original movie.
Right.
It's just like, all right,
we got to spend an hour explaining why he has a black suit.
Yeah. The project reportedly costs upwards of $30 million to produce. That's insane.
They'll make their money back.
I'm sure they will.
Watch when that drops.
I mean, HBO. I don't know if you've noticed, but HBO is making a clear, like, concerted effort to push HBO Max.
HBO Max is pretty damn good.
That's what I'm saying. Like, they're clearly like, look at this shit. Look at what we got.
I'd be interested to know the numbers before that drops and after it drops. The first episode, just within a 1 month window. Give me the numbers the month before it drops and the numbers the month after, and see if it spikes it. Because it's not going to plummet it.
Yeah. We'll see.
Actually, it'd be really funny if it plummeted it. That's it. I can't stand this idea of this being on a subscription service.
The first story details for the Black Adam movie starring Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson as the anti-hero have finally been revealed alongside a couple animated teaser trailers.
I'm so intrigued to see how this goes. I think he is a great cast for Black Adam. I am just so curious to see how this movie turns out and how they potentially weave him in with everybody else.
Yeah.
Pending we get a Justice League too.
Yeah. That's the thing is I'm wondering if DC is going to try to pull together some sort of coherent universe.
Yeah, So they hired what's his name? They hired the people from, or some people that were responsible for the Marvel thing into their. Star Wars did, and I believe DC pulled somebody over too. But I think a lot of that could potentially determine on how the Snyder Cut is received. Because I think they would, if it's received well, they would just want to give it to him and go, do what you need to.
Yeah. I think it'll be a combination of that and one of the last thing we're going to talk about, obviously. Because, those...
Yeah.
I mean, to date, their most successful thing has been Joker, which is just the standalone,
Standalone one-off.
Yeah.
And the interesting thing that I think they could definitely do, and it seems like they're testing the waters with the way they're releasing the Snyder Cut, is they could just make, using HBO Max and having all this stuff, and we'll talk about something coming up.
Retcon?
Don't retcon. Do Justice League 2, or just make Justice League a TV series.
Like a mini-series?
Do it your HBO style, 8-episode run, a la your Westworlds and stuff, where you take a couple years between seasons and really do like a Justice League thing. So you actually having those years in between allow you to not just do the characters they're doing in this movie, where it's just those 5. Put them in the Watchtower. Go get Martian Manhunter. Go get what we'll talk about in a bit with Brainiac. Go get these people to fight them. Bring in, we'll talk about it in a minute anyway, but like the JLA, there's the Justice League, the same way that what Marvel did with the Avengers and pulling in Guardians of the Galaxy and blah, 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 and had they had the movie rights earlier, probably would have saw X-Men and some other people fit in. But like both those, the Justice League and what Avengers are to their respective things are so wide-reaching with large casts that doing them as TV shows, like the Marvel nailed it with the movies. Let them have the movies. DC, do it as a TV show where you get to focus on like the creation of the Justice League for one season, or Justice League year 1. Hey, it's been formed. Let's move on. The end of year 1 sees them get contacted by space, and they build the space fortress, and they go up there, type of thing. Like, lean into it. I won't get what I want, but just do it.
Let's see here.
Shia LaBeouf all told you.
Rocksteady Studios, primary developer of the Batman Arkham games, revealed its long-awaited next game, Suicide Squad: Kill the Justice League, with a trailer and some brief details. In Suicide Squad: Kill the Justice League, players take control of Harley Quinn, Captain Boomerang, Deadshot, and King Shark, who are tasked with taking down a mind-controlled Justice League. It can be played solo or with up to 4 players cooperatively. If you're playing single player with AI-controlled teammates, you will be able to switch between different characters at will. Suicide Squad: Kill the Justice League is slated for release in 2022 for PS5, Series X, and PC. Did not realize it was 2 years out.
Yeah. I think they were potentially working on something else, and it has now morphed into this.
Okay.
I think there's a chance they were potentially working on a Justice League game, and just something wasn't clicking, and they flipped and went with here.
Yeah. I mean, that's not a bad idea.
Rocksteady's been silent for years.
Yeah. There was rumors for a while, too, that they were working on a Superman game
and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But then there was, not that Superman is boring, because Greg will argue with me. He won't actually argue with me because I don't exist, but he'll tell you all day it's not boring. There are ways to write him in such a way.
Yeah, but Superman's hard to
playing as him is a very hard thing to do, because unless you just ignore reality and give every person fighting him kryptonite,
he always wins.
Nothing would beat him.
Yeah.
It's the problem with having pseudo demigods.
Yeah, it was Superman. Yeah,
it's the same thing where, like, if Marvel kept going, and if they do keep going, they reach a god point. They exist in that universe. Where
and they're creeping that way.
Yeah,
like,
which Thanos was not even a taste of what these other people are. And it's what they've handicapped Captain Marvel and all these other people too to make the scenes right. But like if you go back and read comics, fucking Squirrel Girl kills Thanos.
Yeah.
Hello, a person that is a squirrel and controls squirrels kills. Anyway,
finally,
I'm sorry to go back to the actual game. I'm intrigued.
Yeah, I mean, I'm interested.
This goes back to I'm the DC fan, but
I mean, I'm more of a DC fan than a Marvel fan.
Yeah, yes.
I just not Suicide. The Suicide Squad doesn't do much for me.
Right. I don't care about the Suicide Squad angle of it for the most part. The idea of them fighting a mind-controlled Justice League is interesting. I'm curious to see how that plays. I'm curious to see who from the Justice League shows up.
Mm-hmm.
Is it just the main cast that we assume? Or do they, what they can do in a game that would be harder to do in a movie, branch and show you these other people? Also, it says, doesn't it say you're hunting? Does it say who you're hunting?
It just says you're hunting the Justice League. I mean, in the trailer, you see Superman. I mean,
yeah, I thought there was something about the JLA in here, Justice League of America, which would see Dr. Fate and a few other people show up. But
I think that was like a rumor that was going around, but I don't know if it was confirmed.
But it's like there's a bunch of people you could pull from for the game to just have like their characters show up as,
what's his name, Hawkman.
Yeah, Hawkman, Dr. Fate, and a couple others. There were two others in that shot. It was a 4-person shot. Oh, I'm blanking that I can't remember them, but those guys could show up and give you new. And it's a Suicide Squad that's, you'll see some of the characters from the movie, but you might not have the same tie-in, I guess, is what I'm saying. It'll be different enough from the movie that it'll be still fun to play. The other interesting thing of just both of these, not Arkham games, but these two DC games, I'm really intrigued because one's supposed to be next year and one's 2 years. That's a year and 2 years after Avengers comes out.
Mm-hmm.
And Avengers currently, if you're not just a giant fanboy and you are looking at the game from a critical lens, has people concerned.
Hey, did you like that thing I sent you?
Yes. Did you not hear me yell?
I did hear you.
Because like the thing you sent me, the Battle Pass, the characters are still free, but everything like cosmetically and moves and stuff like that is tied to a $10. And I was just like, oh no.
Per character. Insane.
Yeah. In the membrane. Crazy insane.
We finally got to see the first trailer for Matt Reeves' The Batman. In it, we got a glimpse at Robert Pattinson's darker, disheveled Batman. Glimpses of Zoe, Zoe Kravitz.
I was going to say Saldana, so I'm not.
As Catwoman, although Reeves stated she isn't Catwoman yet in this film. Colin Farrell as the Penguin, who Nate says looks like Richard Kind. I didn't even fucking recognize him as Colin Farrell.
Yeah, if you know who Richard Kind is, they basically put enough prosthetics on Colin Farrell for both of us. Because even when I watched the trailer the first time, I was like, was it supposed to be Colin Farrell's Penguin? And then more articles. Oh yeah, that was Colin Farrell. I was like, holy shit, he doesn't even look close to that.
Yeah,
but he looks like Richard Kind.
Jeffrey Wright as Detective Jim Gordon.
Great casting. Absolutely amazing.
Judging by clues in the trailer, the Batman isn't set in the 90s as originally speculated. The Riddler seems to be the main villain of the Batman.
Thank God.
The movie is only about 25% complete, which is crazy to me. According to Reeves, as production has faced many delays due to the ongoing COVID-19 pandemic, the Batman will take place during year 2 of the Batman's career, while Reeves' Gotham PD prequel series for HBO Max will take place in year 1. So,
and I'm intrigued by the idea of the Gotham PD one, where it's year one Batman. It's him coming into it, and
that'd be cool.
It's the Gordon meeting him, forming their relationship and everything.
Because even in the trailer, you see it looks like Batman shows up at a crime scene while the police are still there. So clearly, there's like some relationship.
They already have
there.
some established. I'm gonna be here type thing, and Gordon doesn't do, at least in the trailer, Gordon doesn't do the like, what are you doing? They have a rapport where they clearly already know each other.
Yeah.
I'm excited. Again.
Yeah. I don't know. I thought you weren't going to be able to get over the Robert Pattinson thing.
So initially that was always my concern.
I was like in immediately because like, obviously, he's done a lot of like artistic
stuff,
films and stuff like that, and I was like, oh yeah, it's gonna be fucking sweet. But
initially, I was basing everything on Twilight, and I was just scared for what they would do after Batfleck. Because while I don't think Ben Affleck did anything wrong for the part, I think that part was written horribly. And going forward, they're like, all right, we're going to put Pattinson in. I'm like, all right, let's see. And when they show him, not as Batman, but even just him being Bruce and being out in the world, he looks more built out than he obviously did in Twilight, which was, 10, 12 years ago at this point. Which makes sense. You were a child and now you're an adult, so you should be bigger, and it fits the role better and everything. He looks fine. I don't have any problems with that. I need to hear more of the voice to see if that becomes a joke. I don't think the voice was bad in the trailer that you hear it, but there's a reason I'm not wearing hockey pads is a line.
I love the trailer because it just, you can feel the like anger under the surface the whole time in Batman, like it's there, like
both when he is Batman and when you see him as Bruce, you can, without him saying anything, you are getting emotion.
Yeah.
And then so you see Catwoman who's not Catwoman, but you can tell the way they purposely shoot the shot with the balaclava to look like it has ears and everything like that. Penguin, curious. This has been what I have. The trailer looks like what I have said. I don't know if I've said it on this podcast or not, about what I wanted out of a Batman movie. To bring back a Riddler and make him serious. Not the Jack or the Jim Carrey, Jack Nicholson run around, bounce off the walls. Wee, yeah, it's a joke. Everything's a joke. Like, no, make Edward Nygma dark and sadistic in his elaborate puzzles. His entire idea for him is that he is smarter than everybody. Let him do it.
Yeah.
So I like the idea that they let him be the main villain as almost semi-ringleader, with Penguin and Catwoman playing sub-stories through this whole thing. Which leads well into another one if you're saying she's not really Catwoman now, but you clearly see her and Batman fight each other. So that would introduce Selena Kyle. And the whole thing, it just, chef's kiss, has me excited, especially because the one scene we get when he fights is what I want DC to do.
Yeah. That scene, like, you see 2 seconds of it, the anger's there, he beats the fuck out of the dude, and it's like just brutal enough, and then you look at the other fucking cronies that are behind him, and they're all different mixed emotions. Half of them are scared. Yeah. Like, one of them looks like they're about to fucking cry. Like,
it's closer to the half joke that always happens during the Arkham games. We're like, yeah, Batman doesn't kill anybody, just beats the ever living piss out of them, and like leaves them to oh, he's not dead. He just will never walk again because I broke both his legs in 6 places.
Yeah.
And you see him in this fight, it sounds like he goes for the broken arm and just punch, drops him, punch. And then that's the other thing. He drops him, And how many times have you seen Batman after he drops somebody get on top of him and punch him more?
Yeah.
Not many. So he falls, punches him a few times, gets to do the good old "I'm vengeance," and you're like, all right, hey, Bat voice. But yeah, I'm hoping that, and this is what I've said DC needed to do, that Marvel toes the line on being dark, but they're still childishly dark in a way of like, oh, Thanos snaps and kills everybody. The idea of murdering everybody is dark, but the entire conveyance around it is nothing dark about it. It's more just like sad happenstance at that point, or shock.
Yeah.
Where with Gotham, granted the entire movie is going to be dark anyway, because Gotham apparently has never seen daytime or the sun, which is weird. Or sorry, I guess the DC universe has never seen the sun or daylight. But the entire...
Only in Metropolis.
And even then, sometimes. The moment he has to fly away, well, there it all goes again. The darkness of that scene, of that punch, to crashing a funeral and having what looks like a suicide bomber step out of the car, and all these things of... Make it brutal, man. Don't pull these punches of, oh, everything's going to be okay. It's what the Dark Knight did well, where it was still, I don't know what I'm looking for. Dark is the wrong word because Dark Knight, but it was still
visceral.
Yeah, it was still visceral and evil,
like grounded but gritty, and
yeah. I want sand in my teeth when I'm watching it. I want to just feel like a man. But yeah, I'm after I watched everything from it, I was like, all right, cool. Yeah, I'm excited. DC things. Woo! I still need to read that DC 80th anniversary right there, but hey. All right, then we move on to number 3, the last really long one we have. Can you believe we're already this far? Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War. Speaking on the single-player campaign, the storyline picks up in the middle of the Cold War between the U.S. and the Soviet Union in the 1980s, as the player is tasked with hunting down a newly reactivated Soviet spy known only as Perseus, based on the real-life codename and backstory of a potential Soviet spy thought to have infiltrated the U.S. government. I'm assuming this is supposed to be continuing. Characters Alex Woods, Frank Mason, Jason Hudson, and all central players in the original Black Ops will be revised, similar to the Modern Warfare reboot. So they are all back, and Reagan's there.
Yeah. Yep, Reagan.
The trailer's interesting.
It is.
Reagan's like, hey, go commit war crimes.
Got it.
No problem, boss. See you later. Yeah, the trailer was interesting. It's always funny, especially, we saw it with Modern Warfare. We saw a little bit at the beginning of Black Ops, but I think Modern Warfare really, once again, set the tone at Call of Duty for what single-player cinematics look like.
Yeah.
And while Reagan is shiny in the trailer, it's not a question if it's Reagan.
No, they did a really good job on that.
They dug him up and body scanned him. Yeah, and I like the idea of the CIA guy just has a giant gash scar across his face.
Yeah.
But yeah, their whole thing is that they're there to hunt Perseus, who every time he apparently showed up or became his involvement became known, it shifted the Cold War in some dramatic fashion. On the subject of multiplayer and zombies, Activision did confirm a number of details regarding how progression and cross-platform play will work. For one, the game will feature crossplay not just across platforms as last year's installment first introduced, but across generations as well. There will be a seasonal battle pass, a unique benefit for Black Ops Cold War, will be shared progression with Warzone and the ability to keep Modern Warfare content like skins or operators in COD parlance. What?
In COD speak.
Oh, okay. Who uses parlays? What, you got a thesaurus when you're writing this week?
Sometimes I pull it up.
And weapon blueprints when you transition your account over to the new game. A full multiplayer reveal is scheduled for September 9th. And Treyarch and Raven are promising a return of zombies with more details coming later. Same for Warzone.
Yeah, more COD in the future.
Smart move to just move Warzone across.
Yeah.
Just keep going.
Mm-hmm.
The bad news is that pricing is a bit of a mess. So here we go. Current gen.
Before you get into this, I will preface this that this is to the best of what I could find as of now, but there's conflicting information online, and it just could change or it could be different.
All right. So if you are planning on spending any money, just start at $100 and you'll be fine. Current gen versions will be $60. Activision will also sell physical versions of the game for PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series X for $70 each. For the Xbox Series X, that physical copy is playable on both Xbox One and Series X. No, it's not.
This is what I'm talking about.
That doesn't make sense with what Xbox has said. The Series X copy would not be playable on an Xbox One, but the Xbox One copy would be playable on a Series X. Okay, so yeah, we're just gonna not think. Then there's Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War cross-gen bundle. That digital package, which costs $70, will be available on current and next-gen PlayStation and Xbox consoles.
It's a fucking mess, bro.
Players who purchase the standard physical version of Black Ops Cold War on PS4 will be able to upgrade to the PS5 version through the PlayStation Store. Players who purchase the standard physical version of Black Ops Cold War on Xbox One won't be able to upgrade to the Xbox Series X version as PlayStation players can. What the fuck does that mean? That's literally the opposite of what you just said 2 steps above that. I'm not reading any more of this. No, I'm not reading any more of that. Here's the thing. If you want to play Call of Duty, go look it up and figure it out yourself.
Yeah, so
that's terrible.
There's conflicting information, and like it's different for Xbox and PlayStation. Like and they're not using smart delivery on Xbox. It's just,
but they are. You know what?
But they're not. It's all over the place.
I'm not going to ever pretend to understand what Activision's doing. This is like the Battlefield 1 launch dates. Or Battlefield 4 launch dates when we had to break that graphic out.
Yeah.
Listen, if you want to play Call of Duty, go look it up and figure out how much money you got to spend. Here's a hint. It starts at 60. You might have to go higher.
What are we at for time here? Because I'm sure it's probably been 2 hours already, and we still have...
We can move through the rest of this. Those are the most things we have to say.
Let's hear. Call of Duty publisher Activision has quietly replaced the teaser trailer for this year's upcoming shooter Black Ops Cold War, as we've joked about a little bit already.
Heyo.
Kotaku reported that the trailer, well, it's really a teaser, that the teaser had already been blocked in China. It is believed that it is due to the inclusion of 1 second of footage from the 1989 Tiananmen Square protest.
Massacre.
Massacre is a better word, against the communist government. Protest against communist government and a massacre of the protest. Teaser.
Let's get it right.
The teaser was just over 2 minutes long and debuted last week ahead of the full announcement that happened this week. Where was I? However, on the official Call of Duty YouTube channel, it has now been replaced by a 1-minute version, which does not include the footage of Tiananmen Square.
Shocking that Activision once again backs out of what they were saying.
Yeah.
It's just fun when I believe the trailer or the teaser is shot with the 2 screens that say, learn from history or be doomed to repeat it.
Mm-hmm.
And then they're like,
censorship.
But not Tiananmen Square. Because there's no war in Ba Sing Se. Number 5. Sony has announced that the latest step in its PlayStation 5 reveal will be the company opening online registration to possibly receive an invitation to pre-order the console directly from PlayStation.
Here's some more mess for you.
According to Sony's announcement, there will be, quote, a limited quantity of PS5 consoles available for pre-order, end quote, this holiday season. The invitation program is a chance for existing PlayStation customers to be able to order the upcoming console. filling out the registration form does not guarantee an invite to be able to pre-order the console, with invitations distributed based on, quote, previous interests and PlayStation activities, end quote. Even if you do get an invite, you're still not guaranteed a pre-order. Each invitation will be open for a limited time and has limits on just a single console pre-order per PSN ID. Did I register? You bet your ass I did, Matt.
I registered as well.
Because we ain't no chumps.
I just love it. It's like, you can register, but you might not get an invite. You might get an invite, but if you get an invite, you might not be able to pre-order it anyways. It's just like, it's weird. Who cares?
I like the attempt that they're doing. I see what they are trying to do.
Yeah.
Hey, we have people that are already in the PlayStation ecosystem. If you're wanting to upgrade, here's your chance.
Mm-hmm.
Literal chance is all you have. And even then, it's 50-50 if you have a chance.
And if you're not paying attention to your emails, you might lose your chance.
Yeah. But, I mean, even if I don't get the invite, which I'm betting on not getting the invite, it's still the lookout of, all right, where do I need to go?
Yeah.
Who do I need to make friends with? Who do I need to contact? I already got a couple feelers out in retail stores of like, listen, you start seeing some stuff, just let me know, and put one away. I'm going to call you now and say, I'm going to hold that. I'll be there.
Joseph Staten, a veteran of the Halo series, has returned to the franchise and will work on the campaign for the upcoming Halo Infinite. The news was first reported by Bloomberg, and Staten confirmed the move on Twitter. Staten said, quote, I'm thrilled to join Halo to help them ship Halo Infinite. As the project lead for the Infinite campaign, I will be supporting the team's existing great leaders and empowering them to do their best work, end quote. On the topic of Halo, Jason Schreier said something interesting on Twitter. Quote, at Microsoft, contractors can only work for 18 months max. They can then come back after a 6-month break. Microsoft uses so many contractors that this limit leads to a lot of attrition. And for games that take 4+ years to make, like Halo Infinite, it has been disruptive. End quote.
Makes sense. You got a bunch of hands in the pot. Also, is it good news that somebody is coming on now after you've shown Halo Infinite to lead the campaign development?
The answer to that question is no. And the fact that it's like a Bungie veteran, like an OG Halo person, like it's like they're like, they probably gave him a fat check and was like, yo, we really need your help.
It speaks to what everybody always jokes about and worries about when you look at 343 and what they've done with Halo. And they're like, we want to go back to Halo's OG roots. And they're like, okay, let's just go get OG Bungie to do it.
Yeah.
That game might not see 2021.
Yeah, I think
there's a chance. I think it's a small chance. I think we still are. I think at this podcast, we're pegging holiday 2021.
Yeah, I would agree. I think even if it's not, even if it could use another delay, I think Microsoft would just push it out.
I think they would force campaign to be ready and then put multiplayer like a month off if they needed to. They would get shit for it, but if you put it only a month off, you'll be okay. If you put it longer than that, you have problems. Number 7, rumors of a new enhanced edition of the Nintendo Switch continue to circulate, with the latest report indicating a planned launch for the upgrade in Q1 2021. Taiwanese publication The Economic Daily News reports that according to multiple manufacturing sources, the new version of the Nintendo Switch will include enhanced interactivity features and improved visual quality. You missed the chance to use fidelity, but I appreciate it.
Yeah, you know.
So we're going to get a third version of the Switch.
Perhaps.
Switch
but these
HD,
rumors...
Switch HD.
These rumors, they've been going around for a while. So
also, Switch. If you're making a Switch HD, the rumor I've seen about that is discussing that it would do 4K.
That's
first off, there's no way it would be doing it on handheld. I would assume that they would upgrade the handheld to 1080 and output the 4K, and they would have the dock handle the 4K transition.
Yeah, I was going to say, I wonder if they could get the dock to upscale.
Because they have the dock upscale now.
To 1080p?
Right.
That would be cool.
Under 10. that's the only thing I could assume that they were doing is having the output be 4K and then your handheld mode becomes 1080 instead of 720.
The power, like the tech you'd need for the dock to upscale to 4K, though, like I feel like that would be a pretty pricey jump.
There's a whole conversation to be had about what they would be doing with a third SKU.
Yeah.
And technically they've already got 3 SKUs because they updated the battery in newer Switches and fixed Joy-Con drift. So an older SKU Switch is not the same as a current SKU Switch.
Yeah.
So you'd have everybody coming into the store going, can I see the serial number? I have to make sure that it starts with a 1 instead of a 0. Fuckers. But I understand.
Microsoft has entered the legal dispute between Epic Games and Apple, siding with Epic Games.
The gauntlets have been thrown.
Basically.
Oh, this gets worse if you didn't update this today.
I did not update it today, so you can fill us in afterwards. The company's general manager for the gaming developer experiences. What did I just read? The company's general manager for gaming developer experiences, Kevin Gammill, filed a statement of support for Epic's restraining order against Apple. Gammill described Unreal Engine as, quote, critical technology, end quote, for companies such as Microsoft, and Apple blocking its use on iOS will, quote, harm game creators and gamers, end quote.
It is interesting. Actually, you know what? I'm just going to read the next story, and then we'll talk about that. Number 9. Epic Games just won a temporary restraining order against Apple, at least in part. Effective immediately, Apple can't retaliate against the company by terminating the developer account used to support the company's Unreal Engine. But in the same ruling, Judge Ivan Gonzalez Rogers decided, 3 names, that Apple will not be required to bring Fortnite back to the App Store.
Didn't I read that they deleted something?
They took away their developer accounts.
They did anyways.
Yep.
I respect that.
I had the headline pop on my phone before you showed up where it was Apple deletes Epic's accounts or whatever. And I was just like, all right.
Bold move.
Bold move, Cotton.
Yeah.
See how it plays out.
This is the issue, is that
somebody's throwing gloves.
All these companies have, like, you cannot fathom the amount of fuck you money. Like, so much. Like, they could buy...
What's the biggest number you can think of?
Multiply by 10.
Bigger.
Yeah. Last time I looked, and this was years ago, Apple had $250 billion in cash sitting in banks. That's cash.
I wish I had that much cash.
Stupid. It is stupid.
Gamasutra has the headline, Apple has terminated Epic Games App Store account. As of today, Apple has confirmed the Epic Games developer account has been terminated for violating the company's terms of service, meaning that now if you search for any Epic Games product on the App Store, whether it's Fortnite or the Infinity Blade sticker set, you will not find them. In a statement provided to Mac Rumors, Apple says this removal is standard policy for the terms of service violations that kicked off this whole saga. Apple said, quote, we are disappointed that we have had to terminate the Epic Games account on the App Store. We have worked with the team at Epic for many years on their launches and releases. The court recommended that Epic comply with the App Store guidelines while their case moves forward. Guidelines they followed for the past decade until they created this situation. Epic has refused. Instead, they repeatedly submit Fortnite updates designed to violate the guidelines of the App Store. This is not fair to all other developers on the App Store and is putting customers in the middle of their fight. We hope that we can work together again in the future, but unfortunately, that is not possible today.
Lovely. Lovely. Is that it? Should I move on?
Yeah, you can move on now.
Okay. Niantic is releasing a new Mega Evolution feature for Pokemon Go, bringing more powerful, evolved forms of certain Pokemon to the game. Mega Evolution was introduced to the mainline Pokemon series in Pokemon X and Y, and continued in Sun and Moon. In Pokemon Go, Mega Evolution is handled with a new resource called Mega Energy that is earned by battling a Mega Evolved Pokemon. All right, if I say Mega one more fucking time, you can Mega Evolve Pokemon, including Beedrill, Blastoise, how do you say it? Blastoise?
There you go.
Blastoise, Charizard, and Venusaur? Venusaur? Oh, Venus. Duh. Venusaur. Once you have enough energy. Venusaur. Is it does it look like Venus?
It's a plant.
It's a plant.
It's a toad with a flower on his back.
Fucking damn toads.
Mega
evolved.
Mega evolved toads. Mega energy. Get that big mega energy. That BME. Number 11, developer CD Projekt Red announced The Witcher Monster Slayer, an augmented reality game for iOS and Android that has players hunt and kill fantasy monsters. Monster Slayer is a role-playing game with a heavy emphasis on combat. Kind of sounds like Monster Hunter World from the game description from CD Projekt Red.
Yeah, I didn't want to read the whole thing on the podcast, but if you're curious, check it out.
The trailer has a guy walking through a forest, and then a dog starts barking, and he's like, what the heck's that dog barking at? Let me open my Witcher app. Ooh, that's a giant stick figure enemy. I should kill him. Yeah, the dog didn't see that dipshit. He didn't need to bring him into it, all right?
I love it. Nintendo held a surprise Direct Mini. Included in its lineup is a remaster of GameCube title Final Fantasy Chronicles. The first 3 games of the Saga series, Final Fantasy Legend, Final Fantasy Legend 2, and Final Fantasy Legend 3, Puyo Puyo Tetris 2, rhythm game Kingdom Hearts Melody of Memory, and Just Dance 2021.
Yeah, Just Dance.
The Direct, which lasted just over 11 minutes, was specifically intended to showcase Nintendo's partnerships with companies like Square Enix and Ubisoft. Check it out if you're interested.
Number 13, I don't have anything to say on that. Number 13, Netflix has announced a new live-action TV series based on the Capcom's popular Resident Evil series of video games that will be produced by Constantine Film, the same company that made the previous 6 Resident Evil films. There were 6? Holy shit.
Yeah, dude.
The upcoming series will feature an original story set within the world of the Resident Evil, set across 2 timelines. I hate the way this is written. There are more details about it available if you're a Resident Evil fan. I'm curious to see what a TV show is like, because those movies are
not good.
Popcorn movies.
That was there are, when I said there are there's a lot of shit available on. Like, you can basically, they tell you almost the whole plot. Not the whole plot, but like
Raccoon City.
Yeah, Raccoon City. 2 timelines, as in like they cover the same people, well, roughly people who are related to each other across like 20 years or something like that. All right, finally, last on the old lister here, Borderlands 3 is getting another DLC, possibly its final one, which is called Psycho Krieg and the Fantastic Flustercluck.
Got it.
You'll be helping a scientist named Patricia Tanis figure out what makes the Borderlands psychos so uniformly deranged. She believes the answer lies in Valhalla, a mythical place that induces insanity in all who learn its true nature. Of course, your average psycho isn't going to peacefully sit still and share Valhalla's secrets, so the closest you can get to a willing participant is Krieg. I keep wanting to say Craig, it's fucking Krieg. A fellow...
I like the idea that there's also a Craig who just constantly is confused for Krieg, and he's just like, oh, fuck, man, come on, I got my own story.
I could see them doing that. A fellow Crimson Raider and the most badass psycho there is. It'll be out on September 10th.
Cool. Krieg's a fun character. He was a DLC addition to Borderlands 2 that you can actually play as him.
Ah, cool.
He's crazy. It's a fun time. It's like one of the few psychos that actually speaks semi-coherent sentences. And there's tapes you find in Borderlands 3 where Tanis is doing work with him. Mm-hmm. I think it's Tanis. Or maybe it's somebody else. But they're having conversations. They're trying to like figure things out and stuff like that. It's really funny to listen to. But that's them, good fun storytelling. It's been 7 days, Matt. And somehow we managed to get through all of that in 7 days.
Yeah. But
what have you been doing that we didn't just talk about?
Nothing. Nothing at all. I watched
Good
some
talk.
more Marvel movies. I watched Doctor Strange. That was nice.
Strange is a good movie.
I like Doctor Strange.
I enjoyed it.
Watched Age of Ultron. And that's it, really. That's it. No games, unfortunately. Nothing else. Just that. What
Fair
about
enough.
you?
You know, I'd like to tell you it was any different than any other week. But it wasn't. Started, you know what? You know the usual. You know the rundown. Football Manager. Oh, yeah, played that. Oh, played well, whatever. You all know that. Started playing Madden. That's all I got to say. It's more Madden. I don't think that this year changes much of years previous. Okay, they added a new game mode, but the new game mode actually upsets me because it's hard. I'm pretty sure the story is hard written. That it doesn't matter how well you perform, they're going to tell you the story they want to tell you, which is annoying. Maybe that's not true, but that is 100% my experience so far. In the first two games, I was playing quarterback. I threw for 600 something yards and five touchdowns and 2 rushing, I think. And
as a rookie,
yeah, and
you'd be like,
that was in the preseason, and the conversation or the cutscene that happens right after that is discussing how your performance was bad and that you're going to start on the bench for the year. And I just went, "What the no?" Oh yeah, so your performance was pretty bad. You need to work on some stuff. And I was like, I just demolished. But they're just gonna tell you the story they want to tell you. So I'm betting you could probably just barely play the game and make it the entire way.
Yeah, like it just forced you through the entire story.
Potentially, yeah. Potentially.
That's annoying. That's like so cheap.
Yeah. I'm the only true determining thing might be like if you play actually so bad you might be forced into retirement type of thing, but there are games I have absolutely balled out on, and the conversation afterwards is about how poorly I played, and I'm like, what the hell are you talking about? Whatever. Also, I finally finished Ghost of Tsushima, so now I'm just running around murdering people as a samurai for fun.
Yeah, it's a good time.
Yeah, but the campaign has been finished. I spared my traitorous uncle.
I murdered him.
Yeah. I spared him just because why not?
Yeah. So you got the all the red stuff, right? The red dyes at the end or whatever. I think that's what you get. You get different.
Oh yeah, I have the red dyes because I got the ghost armor went red.
Yeah.
What did you get?
A white.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
Wait, why is it red? I
don't know.
I didn't murder him.
I know, but like, it's the whole like ghost is bad, samurai is good.
Red is bad?
Ghosts kill people.
I did like
blood.
the little hut they put you in at the end.
I got a different location. So like you get a different location based on
where are you?
Well, I think the hut. I think if I looked it up correctly, I think the location of the hut is different.
Oh.
But the hut itself and like what's in it is the same.
Okay.
And it's named different, something else. Like they're different names as well.
Okay. Yeah, mine is. Oh, I don't know. I want to say it was the last something, but I don't remember now.
I think yeah.
But yeah,
we'd have to look it up. I don't remember.
That is interesting though. I don't know about that.
Mm-hmm.
I know there was so much different just by the single choice.
Yeah, I mean it's superficial stuff, really.
Yeah, it's nothing that actually has impact on the game. Once like the last thing that has impact on the game is if you killed them or not.
Yep.
Yeah, it's funny going through the game and like looking back at the story and just thinking of that's probably pretty close to how it was at that time. Not like somebody just becoming this ghost and taking on an entire Mongol fleet on an island and destroying the entire thing. Not that, but the hard codes of the samurai and refusing to adapt ways where we all know the new saying is adapt or die. Well,
yeah,
you would have died.
Yeah. Kind of a theme in Japan that turn of the century there.
Yeah.
Like, they were definitely not up to the same levels of technology as other parts of the world.
Yeah, the whole, like, even just the watches, like, oh, we can't use it. Why?
Why not? Yeah.
That was the weirdest conversation, but he immediately pivots off of it anyway.
Mm-hmm.
But it's just like, all right, we use it to shoot their ships. No, we can't do that. In what world do you want to win this war? Do you not want to win? Because that's what's going to happen. Do you want ants? Because that's how you get ants. Do you want Mongolians? Goddamn Mongolians. All right, well, that's it. We've been here long enough. We will see you guys in 7 days. Bye-bye.